What up, everybody? This is the Banes of Beers podcast here today with my co-host and a very special guest today. We're here with Nolan. How are you doing today?
Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Wait, first and foremost, I feel like we have to do a little cheers.
Cheers. Water.
You're not drinking?
No, I'm still sober.
Cheers, Dan.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Dan.
Cheers to Dan.
Dan the man.
I just sat in like an hour and a half of traffic coming from downtown, so this is like, it's like feeding my soul.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and, just give us a little background.
A little rundown of who I am.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have a confession.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I used to have a podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, so during COVID, I had one myself. I don't do it anymore. And when I was invited onto your guys's, I was so ecstatic because I have been dying to get back behind the mic
Yeah.
and like just talk. I've been able to talk. I live alone.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to myself in the mirror a lot. So it's nice to have two other people to like banter with.
Yeah.
And I know you were saying earlier that podcasts are great because you can kind of play the devil's advocate, get different perspectives on it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things most that I miss about my podcast, because my partner used to do the exact same thing with me, where I would share my perspective and he would show me the other side of it and try to like challenge my thinking, and I would like stick up for myself. Which, I mean, I'm sure you guys will do to me today. So.
I mean, we'll try. Why'd you stop?
That's actually a very long story. So, the guy that I did it with, actually not too long of a story, but the guy that I started my podcast with during COVID, obviously, if you don't know, like I work in nightclubs.
Yeah.
And obviously during COVID, that wasn't a thing. And we started the podcast together as a way to like fill our time. And he was someone that owned the club that I was working at the time. And so, long story short, when I left his company, we stopped our podcast. But it wasn't in a way where it was like, you know, he hated me for leaving and we left on bad terms. It was just that once I left, he kind of transitioned to different roles out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so he was more back and forth from LA, and I was really had gone head first, is that the right expression? Head first into my new position at the new company, and then we just didn't have time to continue.
Yeah, so how did you get into this whole like nightclub life and everything? You know, you go downtown, you know, this is who you're gonna see, right?
Literally.
I mean, you've hooked us up a couple times.
Yeah, shout out.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think we ever had a proper sober conversation. So it'd be nice to like, you know, get to know each other today. Back to your question, I started in nightlife about 6 years ago. Actually, I'm coming up on my 7th now. I was like freshly 19. I was I was trying to find a job. So I was, you know, my dad was like, you need to get the fuck off your ass.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to school at the time at SFU. And I just like realized I needed a job as well at the same time. And I applied to Cactus Club. And what's funny enough is Cactus Club, I had done my 4 interviews with them to try to become like an expo or a server or something, just because I felt like I had the 4 fucking interviews. Yeah, to work at Cactus Club. I know.
What the fuck?
Anywho, so I did my 4 interviews, and my girlfriend was working at the Cactus Delta location at the time.
Oh, wow.
And so after I left, I didn't tell them I knew anybody.
Yeah.
But she told me the tea after I left. She was like, oh, our last manager thought you were too cocky and overconfident to work there.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, what the fuck? So, wasn't that an interview? Like, aren't you supposed to be like confident, like, you know, just express yourself and like show how you're gonna be like so great with talking to people? And so she told me that, and I never got the job. At the same time, I was going out a lot, so I was loving clubbing. I was going to 12 West like every weekend. But back at that time, I was living in Surrey. And so every weekend when we go downtown, I'm sure you guys are familiar, you get a party bus, you try to find a hotel room. It's always a process. Like, it's not like going to Tap House, you know?
Shout out.
Shout out again.
I used to go to Tap House Thursday to Sunday.
Oh, shit.
Every weekend. $6 on my account. Thursday, obviously you can buy 2 drinks with $6. I'd get blackout. And it was the best thing in the world.
I think it's like
it's closing down.
I know, I'm so sad. I heard that on your guys' podcast with my girlfriend. And I was like, what the fuck? It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
Anyways, so going out a lot, I met a promoter. He was like, you know, you're coming out here a lot anyways with a bunch of people. Why don't you do this with me and become a promoter as well? And so I tried it, loved it. Was working like, you know, twice a month. making pretty good money because I was bringing at least like 20 people every time I came. And then from there, it was just kind of history. I just kept getting more involved and more involved. And I naturally think I have a very like ambitious attitude. Like I remember at the time I looked at the manager of the club and I was like, I want to be like what you are. Yeah. And I can't wait to, take your job. And essentially that's kind of what happened 6 years later.
And now you manage?
Yeah. So now my role within the company I work for, same company that I worked for 6 years ago, I'm a manager, but I also kind of do like operational things. So I look after like 4 venues, not myself, but we look after 4 venues, and I kind of make sure that they're running smoothly. And every Friday, Saturday, or even Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, I'm on the floor helping out and like
I see that,
making sure it's fun and like having that element.
How is that? The pros and cons of working the nightlife.
If you asked me that question, like 6 years ago, I'd say I like loved it, and there was like no cons ever that I could think of. Like that's a dream job, getting to party, getting to drink, dancing. Yeah. Obviously, you're surrounded by so many good-looking people. You have the bottle girls that are so great to look at, and you want to be friends with because they just look so great, and like they lead these like crazy lives. And back then, I thought, there's definitely no con to this job. But as I grew in my role and became more tied into the company and just more, or had a better understanding of what it takes to run a nightclub, and what it takes to like have a venue like that, there's certain cons that came out of it. Like for instance, I work Wednesday to Sunday. So it's very, very difficult for me to take time off to see my, family and friends on Friday, Saturday nights. Those are the main nights, and those are the nights I'm like needed at the club. And I also feel partly responsible. Like I don't want to leave the club alone because I feel like, I have certain things I want to bring, and I invested a lot of time into it. And so when I'm not there, I feel kind of like, oh, I'm missing out, and I should be there to like make sure it's
running smoothly
and like, still fun, and people want to come, and like, you put your blood and sweat into something for so many years. You don't just want to let it go when you have the opportunity to.
Yeah.
So you have like a lot of people like come out, and like are there like cons of like when you're working that nightlife, like everyone hitting you up every single weekend, like going through that, expectations.
Absolutely.
Like how do you like manage that?
Let's have another sip of wine. That's another con in itself. Like people, I get tired. I'm a really tired person now. I'm getting older. Obviously, you guys understand too. Like, fuck, you can't party like you're 21 every weekend. Yeah. And one of the hardest things for me is having that already set expectation. Everybody who comes to see me expects me to be at that 100% level every single time, and when I'm not, it's almost like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with Nolan? Like, he's in a mood, or he's sad, or like, he's not wearing makeup today, so he must be in like a bad mood. Like, fuck that guy. But it's like, whoa, like, I just want a night off. Like, like, I just wanted to take a minute. Let me have a chill. Like, Yeah. And sometimes, I'm trying not to drink as much, and so sometimes I'm sober, and people are trying to force drinks down my throat. I'm like, yo, man, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm good. I'm sure you feel that, being sober yourself.
I remember we were peers, and you were trying to throw the bottle down. I was like, I'm not drinking.
I'm so sorry. See, when I do drink, I become a menace and things like that. Yeah. So I see it from the other side too, But yeah, so that's one of the hardest parts too. It's just like dealing with the expectation people have of you when you're not in the mood.
But it's crazy because I hear like a lot of negative things about the life, like the nightlife out here, compared to like out east or like other places.
Absolutely. Like Vancouver nightlife is absolute garbage. Like you go to Toronto, you go to Toronto, like you'll get a different experience completely. Like you just have more population than you have here in Vancouver. Like to get our clubs full every weekend, and that's like if they get full, is a fucking grind. Like it takes weeks of preparation. It takes so many calls all day long. And so like I bet you if you go to Toronto, you don't have these issues. Like you don't have to deal with your club. You're not worried about whether or not people will show up to your club or to your venue or to your lounge or whatever the fuck you're doing. You're not worried about it. Whereas here, oh my God, every day is a fucking struggle. Like, we have to get these huge groups. We have to be like, you know, you have to arrange so many prior things just to make it, just to make a night out of something, you know, like, and just to have just to not have people look at your place as like a dead, lame place that nobody wants to go to, because that shit like fucking carries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you start getting a reputation, like our motto is one bad Friday and you're done.
Really?
Like that's our, like my owner of the club, like he has instilled that since I was like 18 or 19 actually. Two bad Fridays in a row, you're done. You're done. Like nobody's gonna come.
Especially after COVID, right?
Especially after COVID. Like the world changed after COVID. Oh my God, that was the biggest difference I've ever noticed. Like back in the day, we would have people fighting over tables every fucking night. Every Friday, Saturday, without a doubt, our group chat would be like, fuck you, I want this table. Like, no, I have my guy's better than yours. Like, he needs the table. Like, like kind of go fuck your mom kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh my God, thank you so much for buying a table. Like, come back again. Like, what can I do? Like, come back, you know, every weekend, because people don't have that money anymore. Like, obviously, we're in the middle of a recession. Exactly. COVID. There's a recession.
People ain't paying the e-transfers.
People ain't paying the e-transfers. It's like, oh my God, come and fucking spend something. Like, if somebody buys like 10 shots, oh my God, I'll suck their dick or something. Like, I'm like, I just want, like, thank you for that. Like, thank you so much for coming, you know, and spending your money, because we all know how
clip's
fucking
going viral.
Yeah, 100%. That's a clip for sure. Time to tag the times.
You're gonna see more people at the club now. Right?
That's my fucking favorite part of working in the club, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm single, and right now I feel like I'm in the, like, I've always wanted to be in a relationship. Like, my entire life, I've always, like, yearned that, like, you know, that.
I thought you had a boyfriend.
No.
TikTok.
I'm single right now. We're not bringing that up.
We're
not talking about that. We're not talking about that right now.
I saw this TikTok. Like, she's like, my boyfriend brought me a bottle, this and that.
Okay, so on TikTok,
I
have to be frank, and I'll never like lie about it. On TikTok, I do those kind of videos as kind of like a gimmick. Like, I have like 45. I have like 45 different boyfriends that I refer to in my TikToks. I was in a relationship or a thing, but right now I'm single, and I fucking love it because I can go to the club every Friday, Saturday night. I can talk to whoever the fuck I can talk to and not feel guilty, and I fucking love it. It gives me life.
Yeah. So like, so you're saying like you yearn that love and like that companionship.
Like, I feel like, you know, growing up, especially as being like a gay man, like it was very rare for me to get into relationships or to have that experience at all. Like, you know, a lot of other people have the dating experience through high school, and that's something I never really had. So that's what I really wanted. And up until I think now being 25 and like having my cerebral cortex forming, it wasn't until now I realized like I love being single. I love who I am alone. And it's taken a lot of work to get to this point because, you know, if you ask my friends, they'll tell you I was always a lover guy. Like, I was always, you know, talking to somebody or trying to get in a relationship or just always trying to be like, you know, booed up or whatever. And now I could be like, I would want to go close to it. I don't want to be fucking in a relationship. I want to be by myself. Like, it's so peaceful. It's so like, you know,
but you're constantly around people too, right?
Exactly. And so when I have the minutes where I get to be at home alone and like just chill, I fucking adore it.
But that's gonna be hard being in a relationship, being in a life full of like, you know, where it's a nightlife and you're always around other people and like.
Absolutely.
You know
like,
what I mean?
Dating and nightlife is a fucking struggle. Like, I had an experience maybe like 2 years ago where my partner at the time was like, well, not my partner, I can't even say that because it didn't even grow into a relationship, but the person I was talking to at the time had a really hard time with me being so social.
Yeah. And you are very social. Like, every time we seen you, like, you're
very, I'm like a butterfly. Like, I'm like a monkey. Like, literally, I'm like a monkey, like on crack, just running around. Like, oh my God, let's do a shot. Oh my God.
Like, we came in, this guy's like, oh, I got a table for you guys. Come to the back.
I'm like, what's up? Let's
go.
You know? And, you know, he had an issue with that. And, you know, ultimately it led to the reason why we were not together, which is fair because I don't expect anybody to like have to accept that part of me, but it'd be nice. But I don't want them to like have to
deal with that.
And also like they shouldn't have to settle, you know. And I also shouldn't have to settle. Like I don't want my partner to have an attitude if I'm not at home in bed with them
Thursday, Friday,
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's funny because that person and I did have opposite schedules. So he would go to sleep and I would be up at the club.
Yeah.
But he'd also go to sleep at 8 o'clock. So it was kind of like, well, I'm going to be gone anyway. You're going to be sleeping anyway. So what's the fucking point? But that's a story for another time.
So being it, like you said, a gay man, like in that world of like, you know, does that work to your favor, you think?
Absolutely. Like I think that's one of the reasons why one of the reasons why I was able to progress in my, if you know, for lack of a better word, career in nightlife. Because I think, yeah, like, you know, in the beginning I was a promoter. So my job was to bring in people. And obviously nightclubs want girls. Yeah. I think I have a natural rapport with girls. Yeah. I think girls trust me. I would never put my friends in situations where, you know, they were just in bad situations. I would never want to put them in unsafe situations. 100%. You know, obviously clubbing has those dark sides to it. And I think one of the reasons why I was able to bring so many people in and so many girlfriends and have that crew around me was because people trusted me. Because, you know, I was similar to them in a way. Yeah. You know, I'm not asking them to hang out with me because I'm sexually attracted to them. It's because I generally am your friend and I want to have a good time with you.
And girls want to come.
And girls want to come, yeah. And I naturally, I'm just closer with girls. So that was naturally the group that I was always going to come with. Like, it was very difficult for me to always have, like, guy friends growing up.
And like, clubs promote more for girls to come, right? Like, absolutely. 5 girls show up, they're letting them in over the 2 guys that are standing there by themselves.
Like, for instance, this past Sunday night, I was at Pierre's, and the room got, like, a little bit guy-heavy, and I just fucking shut the door. I was like, no one's coming in. Like, no more guys.
Yeah, every time.
Was it like
how many girls are with you?
Sorry,
wasn't Nav and Travis Scott there a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, like, yeah. Nav and Travis Scott was there. Well, Travis Scott has been at Pierre's twice this year. Yeah. Nav was there like 4 times when he was here for his concert. A couple months ago, we had Drake. That was a fucking amazing experience. Yeah. Like, that was probably one of the highlights of my whole nightlife career. Yeah. You know, we do have cool things like that.
So how was that, like, having, like, when these, like, celebrities come into the place? Like, what is, like, a insider look?
No guys allowed.
No guys allowed. Like, first of all, no guys allowed. Private party. If you ain't got tits and vagina, you're not allowed.
Open tab.
Sorry. Open tab, absolutely. You know, before, it's very last minute. When celebrities come into any one of our venues, it's very, very last minute. They usually, you know, pull up for their tour and then they feel like they want to go out, and just right away we have to get fucking ready. Yeah. And usually these are nights that we're not really open. Like Pierre's isn't open on a Monday or Tuesday, but those are the nights Drake came in. 12 West wasn't open on the Wednesday. That's when Drake went there. And so, these things have to happen on the fly. Yeah. And when you have like 3 different venues that you have to find staff for, oh my God, it's so fucking hard because people don't want to work right now. But, you know, we make it happen, and it's some of the most fun experiences because, you know, depending on who the person is, they just want to have fun. Yeah. And because it's a private party, they do have fun. There's no phones. No recordings. It's just all tequila and just like good vibes. And those are my favorite.
Some wild things though.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's probably dark sides to it too.
For sure, I've signed a couple NDAs.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I can't say.
Yeah, but it's crazy because like when you guys have like big celebrities like rappers coming through, I feel like there's probably a lot of pressure too to like put on a good night for them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I've heard Nav talk bad about the nightlife out here compared to where he goes and like out east, and he's like Vancouver's like such a shitty place.
Totally.
It's so negative, and like the crowds and this and that, and like
it's terrible. Like, you know, some of the nights that Nav did come out were very dead nights in the city. So you are scrambling. Like, if we're scrambling to get Friday, Saturdays busy, we are scrambling to get a fucking Tuesday night busy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when we get the word that these people are pulling up, oh my God, it's like we're messaging every single person in our company. And our company has like 350 people now at this point with, you know, 6 different venues. And so we're messaging every single person we can to come out so that at least the room looks just as fun as a Toronto place or a Miami place or a New York place or whatever the fuck it is, and like has that vibe so people like want to come back. Yeah. That's what it takes. Yeah. That's what it fucking takes in Vancouver, because you really have to show them a good you have to show them a good time.
Why is it so hard out here? Since you're in that world, like Like I heard there's so many stipulations too, like with drinking and like serving liquor and like all this other stuff.
Yeah, man. Like our liquor rules here in BC. Well, first of all, our laws are set up against nightlife. It's just a thing. You know, like we can only do 3 ounces per person per table. Bottle service, if you guys aren't aware, is actually still illegal in BC.
Oh.
Yeah. The way that we get around it is by having servers.
And no bottles at the table, right?
No bottles at the table, exactly.
Because my buddy tried grabbing a bottle one time. And
oh, you getting your fucking snapped in the head. Like, you know, like.
Fucking grabbed it from.
Oh, I hate that. I hate when they do that. That's my biggest pet peeve. But you're supposed to take it back in like a respectful way.
Huh? You know who?
Oh, yeah,
he tried grabbing the bottle and she like almost decked him. I was like,
oh,
whoa.
I'm so sorry. Please tell me who it was after this. Because they're getting fired.
Oh, shit.
No, because, you know, the thing is, it's illegal, but there's a proper way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you spend thousands of dollars on bottle service. You don't expect your server to be a cunt and, like, rip the bottle away from you because you guys don't know better. Nobody that comes into the club knows better. They think, oh, I bought this bottle. Oh, I can, like, grab it and pour for myself. You know, did you know bottle service is illegal?
I didn't know it was illegal.
I had no idea.
Probably not.
No idea.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if we have liquor inspectors that come around to different venues and they check for these things. They check if people are pouring for themselves, if they're holding the bottle, if their mouth is on the bottle. They check for these things and you get shut down for it.
Yeah.
Or huge fines, which is just a bad, like you never want any of those things against your venue because, again, the city works against it. In my belief, like obviously I might not be completely accurate, but I just feel like Vancouver is set up in a way where it doesn't want nightlife to prosper. They want people to go hiking and like swimming every day, but you know they don't want people to come and have.
They
a
don't
drink.
want like the that life to grow out here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I feel like has the potential to.
Definitely, you know, like we're like for instance, we're hosting I think the FIFA soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like that.
The FIFA.
I'm gay. What do you expect? The FIFA World Cup, and you know, during that time, I bet you, like Vancouver's is gonna be popping. Our venues are gonna be full. It's gonna be like the Olympics. I've only ever heard that during the Olympics, nightlife was booming. Like if you go out Monday night, Sunday night, whenever the night, it was like always a Saturday. Like it just felt like that because you had so many people in the city. And I think that's what's gonna happen again when we host the FIFA World Cup. But I'm scared at the same time that, you know, our enforcement, our liquor inspectors, whoever the fuck, is going to be on an all-time high at that point where they're not going to let it be that fun, you know? And so it's such a big struggle to deal with because you're trying to provide a New York and LA type of environment where people are used to in Vancouver where we're just not allowed to. And so that's one of the hardest things we have to deal with.
Do you ever have to deal with like?
Ooh, actually, before you go, like for example, you know how the haze machines in clubs that make it like foggy?
Yeah.
They just filed a complaint against that to get them banned against in every club because they think it's a health hazard for breathing it in.
What?
I know. Can you imagine going to a club and being able to see?
Well, everyone's vaping in there.
Exactly. And it's like in my opinion, people should just be aware of like you know if it is a health issue. Make people aware. They can make their own decisions.
But, like, do you feel like eventually, like, the nightlife's going to die out here?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just going to be,
I feel like, I don't know, like, you know, I've seen these TikToks all the time about nightlife and its flop era.
Yeah.
Clubs are in its flop era. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
And you see it.
I mean, I'm seeing pre-COVID versus post-COVID.
Yeah.
So my automatic thinking is, oh, my God, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Where does it end? You know, like where does it end? Is it just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until people don't want to go out anymore? Or am I just getting older and my people that I see and who I go out with just don't want to go out anymore? Maybe it's a new generation coming in, which, you know, I'm not part of them. So at the same time, when I have these thoughts, I'm like, oh my God, maybe I am getting too old. I have to get the fuck out because it's the next generation coming in. Yeah. But who knows if the next generation even wants to come to clubs? Because I'm really seeing like bottle service isn't huge in the next generation. They don't know about it. They don't care about it. Gen Z don't care about stuff like that. It worked in our generation because, you know, as millennials, it's a flex thing. You know, these Gen Zs walk around like fucking scrubs and like loving it. You know, and like
They embrace it.
They embrace like looking like hobos. Whereas I felt like our generation grew up on the whole mentality of looking good, wanting to have money, and like, you know, very much
showing it off.
Exactly, very much American dream kind of generation. Whereas the next generation is very settled. You know, everybody, you know, has a different gender now, that kind of situation. And I'm not getting into that.
I was just about to ask.
That's bad for business.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, the next generation isn't about what we're about. So, you know, in 10 years from now, bottle stuff is a thing. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I hope it is.
It's expensive too now, though. I feel like with like what's going on in Canada and stuff, like money-wise, people are struggling.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want to live the life, but like they just can't afford to.
100%. And, you know, these bottles are marked up like 400%. So is it normal for somebody to come and buy $1,200 worth of shit every Friday and Saturday night? Probably not.
And that's where the main source of money comes from on a night, is like the tables.
Bottle service, yeah.
That makes
sense. Sure. Like, you know, sometimes bar will do well, but majority, like, you know, in 5 minutes you can do like 8,000 in sales.
But then I feel like security is a big thing in that industry too, right? Because like, you know, people get drunk and they do things and things happen.
Like, do you ever deal with like any like disrespect from people like when you're in that scene?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I see the worst of the worst.
Especially because, you know, I'll be straight up. You have guys that are coming in, brown guys, you know, that masculine energy. And like you're a gay man, and like, do people give you that like sort of energy?
Absolutely.
Where like you feel that hater?
Absolutely, but I have never. Okay, so back in like, you know, in high school, even, right? I was a lot more insecure. It's just a thing, like, you know, I wasn't confident in who I was. Like, I just, you know, I was coming to terms with my sexuality. I didn't even know that I was gay. You know, other people did. They would tell me, they would speak for me. And these are
they'd say it to you.
They would say it to me, absolutely. Like, you know, it's just a normal thing. This guy's acting like a little bitch. Like, you know, he's obviously doing some shit at home. And so I think that attracted a lot more like comments towards it, and like a lot more like people were more inclined to bring attention to it in that sense. Fast forward to now, I feel like, you know, I'm pretty confident in who I am. I know what my sexuality is. I know it. I'm very unapologetic about it. Yeah. And so when I'm working in these nightclub situations, and, you know, I'm dealing with different groups, not even just brown guys like you said, but just like anybody, when I approach them in a way that demonstrates that I know who I am, you can't take away, like, you can't make me feel shitty about me being me. Yeah. Nobody dares do it. I have never in my life seen more guys from that used to make shitty comments about me in high school want to be my friend now. And they like switched up. Maybe they got more mature for sure, but now it's just in a way where people can't take that away from me. Like, I can't let them, because it's just like, I don't let them take that power away from me. You can't, because I already am.
You got the power to let them jump the line.
Sure, fine, that helps. Like, obviously there's a part of it where they're like, oh, you know what can I get out of this if I'm nice to you? But I also just like don't even entertain it. Like, it's just not a thing anymore. I haven't experienced people coming for me based on like my sexuality or whatever the fuck in years. Yeah. Because I just won't let them. Like, you can't. If I don't think of it as insecurity, like, you can't make me feel of it. Yeah. Feel like it is one.
I mean, you grew up in Surrey, right?
Yes.
So how was that, like, for you to come out and like embrace that and like, you know, let society know that you are?
Obviously back then, like, it was way different. Like, I went to a very, I would say, whitewash school. There's a lot of different mixed groups. Like, obviously we all grew up in Surrey. Like, we know some schools are very predominantly brown. Brown.
I mean, I grew up north, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, here in Surrey, I feel like there's a lot of schools that are just predominantly brown, and especially being brown, or, you know, I'm Fijian, but we all hang around each other. You know what I mean? I went to school that was very like whitewashed, and so I didn't necessarily have that experiences in my school. Obviously, there was people here and there that would make comments or whatever. It's just a thing. Yeah. But when I used to go to like different parties, I used to party a lot outside of my school with people from like, you know, Sullivan and Timanuas and like Panama Ridge, like all these different schools that, you know, and I had a lot of predominantly brown Indian friends. During those situations, absolutely, because, you know, people saw me as, first of all, like, who is this guy? Yeah. Second of all, he has a lot of girlfriends. Third of all, he's a little bit like feminine.
Yeah.
What's his deal? And so those are the times where I would notice it more when people would be like, oh, like, you know, he's a little bit different. Like, he's a little different. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I remember being like at these parties and like these, you know, I remember back in the day, people used to rent out hall parties.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for example, Summer Blast or like Fancy Bangor. I used to do the bunch of like
those are big.
hall parties.
Yeah.
So fun. Like, had some of the best times. But I was always at those parties, always a little bit nervous because I was always like, oh, someone's gonna fucking say something, or like, you know, I was always scared of large groups of like brown guys, or like not just brown guys, actually any group of large guys.
It can be intimidating.
It's very intimidating because it's like, okay, you're seeing people who look like you, but you obviously are different, and they can notice that, and so it makes you feel like an outsider, you know.
Did anyone ever say something to you in those circles?
No, it was never. It was just always like
indirect.
Like it was always like a thing, but it's always like I'm just gonna ignore it, look the other way. Like it's just because I also just want to have a good time, and I've always ever like made the point to greet people with good energy, so that I never get to the point of having like negative things thrown at me. I even as a kid, I never liked violence. I never spoke to anybody out of turn because I never wanted them to speak to me out of turn. And I, even now, still follow that mantra and still follow that philosophy because maybe it's just a thing from when I was a kid. I'm just too scared of that, like,
to face that
like, aggression in that way. Anyways.
No,
that got deep fast.
No, but I agree. Like, I feel like you probably had that, like, you know, nobody, and there's always people behind like closed doors that talk shit and like probably, you know,
for sure.
Notice on your TikTok's vicious.
Actually, my TikTok's pretty
really?
pretty nice, yeah.
Ours been pretty vicious.
I know, and so I'm nervous about this going on.
Don't worry, we'll turn the comments off.
Actually, you know what's funny is when I read these comments, and obviously I get a couple on my TikToks, I never take it to heart.
Yeah, I
never take it to heart. I find it hilarious. Like, I remember I used to get fake accounts messaging me being like, oh, you know, you fuck old men for money, like that stuff. Like, obviously shit that's just so not true.
Yeah.
From just stupid people, and I just would laugh. It's just the funniest thing, and I don't know, maybe I just reached a point where I'm just so secure in who I am that it's just comical.
Yeah. Or do you feel like that's a mechanism you use just to like?
Oh, it could be.
Right?
It absolutely could be. It absolutely could be.
Something that you kind of just numbed out and now you've embraced in a sense, like a mechanism to avoid that.
Why are you like reading my brain right now?
What are you saying, Dad?
No, like, yeah, definitely it could be. Like, I haven't thought much about it in that sense, but definitely, like, maybe I just brush things off to not want to deal with it.
Numbed out to it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a big thing. Like, when I grew up, there wasn't that much. Like, social media wasn't that big. And, like, you wouldn't really see all that. And in today's day, you see everything. Like, you know, the things that you know people are thinking about you, but now they're saying it off fake accounts.
Absolutely.
And, like, you know, people that are in your circle sometimes that you know are, like, creating fake accounts and, like, hating and, you know, saying what they feel behind the, you know, keyboards.
For sure. And, you know, TikTok's a great example of that.
Yeah.
People are fucking ruthless on there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's things you can't really stop.
Yeah.
But it's just, for me, it's just kind of like you took time out of your day really to like do that. Like, you must love being a negative, miserable person. Like, you clearly are just not happy. Yeah. And then I just delete it and I just think twice about it. You know? How do you like? Okay, fine. You guys get you were saying you get comments and stuff on your TikToks. How do you deal with that?
I ignore it.
You ignore it.
So we have like someone that runs our stuff.
Okay.
And like I just don't even care.
You just don't pay attention to it. It just doesn't matter.
But then you have people that'll start replying to it.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like it gets bad because now you have like if you have a guest that comes on, they'll start replying to the comments, and then they love that.
Right. Exactly. When you feed into it, it just
I didn't know it's working.
Attention.
Yeah. Even in nightlife, like when people become aggressive, not even because of who I am, just because they want to get into the club and they're acting stupid, and I tell them to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And they want to fucking puff their chest or whatever. I'm like, yo, you can puff your chest by yourself outside. Like, I don't give a fuck. You're outside the club. How are you hating if you can't even get inside? You know, like that kind of thing. And it's just like you're fighting who for what? Like, you're acting stupid. You're drunk. Like, just stay outside. If you want to have an issue, you can call me tomorrow about it, and I can tell you exactly how stupid you were.
Yeah.
But I'm not dealing with it right now.
So you have to be like that person at times.
I had to grow into that person. I was never that person before, but now, you know, I reached again 25 years old. I feel like my cerebral cortex is formed. I feel like I'm a lot more firm in like my boundaries, what I want to entertain, what I don't want to entertain, and I also have zero patience with people. This nightlife position, this job, has brought me to a point where I just cannot deal with it. Like I just don't want to. I don't want to sit outside and argue with you about you coming back into the club when you were sleeping at a booth.
Passed
out at a booth. I don't want to argue with you about bringing you back in the club because your friend has a table if you punch someone out. Why the fuck would I want you back in my venue? Are you stupid?
You probably see
and I don't give a fuck if you
too.
spend $3K.
Yeah.
Take your $3K, like have it back.
Oh,
you know
really?
what I mean? I don't care. The money is not what I care about. The most important thing is that my venues are safe and are fun and people want to come back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because when you hear that negative, like people talk about a certain club and they're like, "Oh, did you hear what happened?" Da, 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 da.
Exactly. Like you know, there's a very prominent club in Vancouver that has a lot of those rumors right now, and it's
this guy.
Oh my god! You can turn on.
He's creating all the controversy.
No, but you know, it's in the news and stuff. And those are not things that you want said about your club.
Does that affect a nightclub?
Absolutely. You know who? Like Okay, fine. Not even speaking about that club.
Yeah.
Even one of my clubs had that reputation years ago. You know, we changed it. It's not a thing anymore. But some people don't want to come if they know that there's a potential of getting hurt, or there's a potential of like just not having a good time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So working the nightclub life probably helped you kind of grow into the person you are then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Brought that.
Yeah.
That secure confidence.
It definitely helped my confidence. It made me better with people. I'm a lot more firm with like. I mean, I'm still a work in progress, obviously, and there's things I need to work on. But I've noticed this year, especially, I'm just like a lot more, just like zero bullshit. Like you know, I don't want to deal with it. This is what it is. If you don't like it, that's too bad. So sad.
How important is like your friend circle, having the right people?
I'm so blessed. I think one of the biggest blessings in my life is my friend group. Obviously, growing up, I was very like, you know, for the streets. I always say this to my friends on Thanksgiving, even when I hosted my friends at my place, and I said to them, you know, I'm really thankful for you guys because years ago I was very for the streets. I was very like talking to everybody. I wanted to get to know everybody. I wanted to have every friend in the world. I would text like 400 different people every day just because I wanted to say, oh yeah, we're friends, and you know, this is my buddy, and we talk and like we text all day long. Oh my god. Now if I did that, I would kill myself. Like it just, obviously not literally, but just it takes a lot of energy.
But I feel like a lot of young people like doing that.
Sure. Maybe it is an
amateur.
Like, maybe it is a adolescent thing to do. But now I'm so lucky to have the friendships I do because they keep me grounded. They remind me of like where I've come from. They motivate me to where I want to go, and they also show me like what type of lifestyle I want to live, like what kind of things I want to value in life, and what kind of things I shouldn't put much attention on. Like, you know, like maybe not everything is for the gram, like not being so for the gram all the time, and you know, and really spending time with your loved ones when you can. And you know, I want to have like my friends just got married recently. Obviously, you guys know who I'm talking to, and you know, that's a marriage that I aspire to have as well. Like she met somebody that completes her, and that's something for so long that I was like, oh, maybe like, you know, I wouldn't get married and don't really want that for myself. But then, you know, I see that and I'm like, oh, you know, that's the type of lifestyle I do want, because we're so similar in a way, and she's so happy, and maybe, you know, maybe that will be, you know, I don't aspire to have her life, obviously, but there's definitely attributes in all my close friends that I want to include in my life and in my life going forward, if that makes sense.
No, that does.
Okay.
Do you see yourself staying in this nightlife, or do you see yourself progressing in different ways, or like where do you kind of see in that way?
I'm gonna refill my cup.
Hold on.
Do you want to refill? Let's keep it going.
Danny, good?
You want some? Yeah. You know what's funny? I work in clubs. I didn't even do it properly. This is how you.
No, you dripped a little.
Yeah, I know. I just always be dripping.
Do you pour a drink?
I do, yeah. Sometimes I like serve tables and stuff. That's how you pour a proper or this is wine or champagne, but no, it's not champagne. This is white wine. But you would put your finger like that, and then you pour like this with the label facing out, so your customer can see what you're pouring.
So that matters, eh? Like all that.
It's just little things that just elevate people's experience.
Marked up bottle.
Exactly.
Dumpy.
Anyways, back to your question, which was lost my train of thought.
Forgot.
Hold on, it was a good question. Oh, I want to get out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I have days. Absolutely. I don't want to be 30 years old, and obviously, having to spend every night in the club like I am right now. I would like if I do continue to stay in this career path, I'd like it to be at a point where I don't have to necessarily be there all the time for it to be a functioning place. I don't believe that you can have a great nightclub without being there every day. So, you can make your own assumptions about that. But I do ultimately want to have like a healthy marriage, kids. And these are things that's very difficult to achieve in nightlife when you're working in that environment. So, yeah, one day maybe I'll be out of it. Yeah. For right now, I like what I'm doing. It's allowing me to do other things like in my daytime, like go back to school and like finish that kind of stuff. So for right now, no, but definitely later in life for sure.
And it's probably such a fast-paced life, right?
For sure, man. Like weeks go by so quickly because you work a night, you sleep till 2, and then suddenly it's 5 o'clock. You have to get ready again. Yeah. So my weeks go so fast. I feel like a year just goes by so quickly because, for the most part, you're sleeping or you're at the club, and time just goes by so fast at the club.
Yeah. Working as like a manager and managing all these clubs, you're at a point where like you're kind of in charge of everything, right? And I know like from what I've heard is that like that world can become very toxic on like the management level and coming down from the owners and like how they are and how they want their clubs run, and they're very cutthroat. How do you deal with that?
I think that's just a given, like any situation where you're really speaking when you're on like when you have like a dialogue with your owner. If you're in any kind of thing, I think it's always stressful. Like if your owner is just very a part of like your day-to-day operations, you're gonna be stressed out regardless of if you're in a club, if you work at Cactus Club or Starbucks or whatever the fuck, because they just have a certain expectation and you're just always trying to achieve it. I can get toxic, but I think again it's nothing that you wouldn't deal with in any other nightlife or any other job really. You just have to meet your expectations, and if you're not, then you got to be able to answer to them.
Or you're gone.
Or you're gone. Exactly. Exactly.
So you want to live that like family life. You want to have that life.
I do. Like
you want to find like a brown guy. Like what is this like?
This guy's getting to the juicy stuff.
I've heard like a lot of like stories, right, about like brown men in the
like
the gay community.
That are not out there, but they're
like DL kind of things. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's specific just for brown men. I think it's very common and just like in all the species of men. And the species of man, like there's just a lot of guys who are just curious about these experiences, and a lot of gay guys have experiences with those experiences. So they are, I guess they're like a lot more aware of the experiences. Like you're able to know, like who, like not who, but you just like you get to know and you get to hear of a lot of different people or a lot of different guys that are just wanting to experiment on the DL and not wanting to.
You ever get those DMs where you're like, what?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. There's like 2 people that I've been talking to for years, and platonically and sexually. Not years, but just someone that I know, people that I know of that
society would never
very just very DL, like won't even tell me their real name, but I've talked to them for years and they're just too scared to tell me exactly who they are. But they come to the clubs, they see me, they know they're there, and and I entertained it because at the time like I was just bored, and it just grew into something of where I now feel like I need to talk to them because there's a side of these people that yearn for acceptance and yearn for like different experiences, you know, flirting with guys and doing that kind of thing, and they can't do that because they're in situations where they can't express themselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I have certain, like, I don't reply to all these DL guys that message me for things.
So there's a lot, eh?
I mean, I've had quite, like,
Yeah.
not a, like, I'm not like,
we gotta leak the DMs.
I'm not like fucking like, I'm not fucking everyone's first choice, but I've definitely had my fair share of experiences. I'm sure every gay guy has.
Yeah.
And I lost my train of thought. Because now I'm thinking about these DL guys, but
Flashbacks.
but I'm sure, you know, like there's been a few, and I don't reply to all of them because some of them are just purely sexual. There's some of them that, you know, want to just get to know somebody on a more intimate level than compared to getting to know somebody as like a homie or a bro that they would, you know, go shoot the shit with. Like they want to talk to me about things that, you know, they think about, or like how they want to. You know, I'm not getting into details about their personal lives, but just want to, like, not sexually, like just want to feel like comforted by a guy or something, you know? Yeah. And so it's just different. And I feel now kind of with these two people specifically, that I kind of owe them that. Like I almost, you know,
service to society.
It's a service to society. Exactly. I'm giving back. I'm paying my fucking dues, and I want them to feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
Is what it.
Which is probably like a lot of guys out there that probably
they feel alone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, you know, thinking back to how I felt when I was in high school, for sure.
Yeah, how did you
back
become
then,
so open?
Oh, I've just always been fucking just annoying as fucking loud. So
yeah, but like, how did you said like you were a little bit more like insecure before, but like, how did you shift that like mindset like over time?
It's a good question.
I feel like it's also your crowd, like who you're with. Like you're saying your friend circle.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If people make you feel like you're accepted, then
absolutely, yeah. And I think I've surrounded myself with a lot of people who only ever supported me in that sense. So maybe I have a false sense of like confidence about it. But, you know, I almost feel like you need to have a false sense of confidence and be a little delusional, because that's the only way you can be like, just be a confident person, even if faking it. You gotta fake it till you make it.
So you've never seen these guys, or like don't know what they look like?
I do now.
Oh, okay.
I do now, Like I do now.
At a point you didn't.
At a point I didn't, because, you know, these are fake accounts. I'm like, oh, hello. They're like, oh, what's up? Like, you're pretty cute. I saw you on Saturday night. You know, you're wearing this and this. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, oh, you noticed? Oh, that's so sweet. And then it just kind of progressed from there. And I can't remember how it fucking has, because I'm talking to these two specific people for like years.
Yeah. And just entertaining it.
Just entertaining it. Like, it's just, you know, harmful. They're not harmful messages. They're just, you know, texts, and it's just whatever.
Shout out, man.
Service to society.
And shout out.
I'm just a giant service society. I'm just a people. I'm a river to my people. You know? But you were saying a question before that I wanted to answer, and I forgot. Oh, how did I become so confident?
Yeah.
Or not confident,
or
but just more secure,
like,
and more open. Oh, no, I did answer that.
He kind of answered.
We're friends. Yeah, friends. And I just...
I tried helping.
Yeah, back then. Thank you. Back then, yeah, again, I was just not so... Oh, I remember what I was going to say now. Back then, and I'm sure every, like, you know, in the closet gay guy has done this, they go online. You go online and you try to talk to, like, other guys and, you know, people from across the world. And it was those experiences that kind of helped me, you know, become more confident. Because it's just, like, it's kind of like, oh, like, this could be really nice if I had someone here in Vancouver that I could talk to like this. And then that progresses to, like, meeting new friends and being more open with your friends around you. And then just from there, it just kind of snowballs.
As well, shout out to our sponsor, Scott72. Thank you for the bottle. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, to Scotty. Scott Road in 72nd.
Yeah, we're trying to rush through this because we got what?
Yeah, but
I was so fucking late coming here.
A lot of traffic, right?
No worries.
But
I think we're getting a lot of good content.
Is it? Oh God.
Yeah. So yeah, nightlife, and then you kind of progress through there. How is it? How do you deal with like you're saying you're so caught up in that life, you're moving at a fast pace, the chaos. Do you ever slow down to like work on your mental health? Like what you know, maybe something you're going through. Like where do you take time to deal with all that?
I try to absolutely take the time to like, decompress. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays even. I try to take the time to like get away.
Yeah.
I go visit my family in Surrey. I like hang out with my sister. I do the things that I like to do. I try to just like ground myself again,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like not so party, haha, alcohol, but just like doing things like that make my heart feel good.
Yeah.
In terms of like dealing with like mental health issues and that kind of stuff. Like if I'm ever feeling sad or whatever, I just try to take a step back. At this point now, I've been telling everybody I'm leading a very soft life. I want to take every step I can just to like not stress myself out, not take things personally, just leading a life where it's just not so not everything's so hardcore, and I don't take things to heart as as um as I was before. If that makes sense. So right now, that's the process that I'm in. And just trying to like take a step back from everything, look at things objectively, not trying to take things too personally, and just letting things happen for how they're going to happen.
Do you feel like you're always fighting the world though? Like in that sense, like
sense?
because you're saying like you're never trying to take things offensively, like being a gay man, like you're talking about how like you've always felt like, oh, like everybody's kind of coming at you for that. Do you feel like you're always on the defense?
No. I don't. I feel like I'm not entertaining it. It's just like I'm just like
ignore it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna fucking think twice about it.
Yeah.
When I'm stressed out at work, I'm stressed out at work because he wants a certain expectation. It's not because I'm a shitty person or I don't know how to do my job. Before I would jump right to that. Oh, I'm a terrible person.
Negative.
I'm gonna get fired. Oh my god, I'm just like I just don't know how to do anything. I'm obviously an idiot.
Yeah.
And that really took a toll on me. And now I'm just very much like, no. I want to lead a soft life, which means I'm not going to take this personal. I'm just going to, I did the best that I can. I'm doing the steps that I can to make sure that my goals and stuff are being met, so that later on I don't have to deal with the backlash or don't have to deal with being stressed out in that sense, where I'm not meeting like certain expectations. Or
did you ever feel fed up with a knife light here where you're like, I just want to go somewhere else and try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
Have you
Would
thought
you
of
ever
that?
do
I've
that?
definitely, like, my dream is to move to Miami. I 2 years ago was like, no, for sure I'm moving to Miami.
Yeah.
I was like trying to plan like how I was gonna get there and like what I was gonna do. I won't ever move until I have a concrete job lined up, just because I just feel like I don't want to have to restart somewhere new. But who knows? Maybe you have to do that to get to where you want to be. But that's just kind of how I'm.
It's probably hard to get settled out there though, like to find a
Absolutely.
job and like.
Yeah, man. Like it took years to get to like where I am now in my nightlife career. Like all the relationships you have to build, all the asses you have to kiss, like all these different things. And I'm not sure if I want to go through all of that. And there's a lot more partying than I do now, because you have to be involved. You have to be super, like, your face has to be there. People have to remember you. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm ready to do that all over again in a different country or a different city.
Yeah.
Different country too, yeah.
Different country, yeah.
So how is the relation? You're saying, like, when you're downtime with your family, like, how is your guys' relationship?
I love it. It's great. It's best. Like it's different when you don't live at home. So when you come back and see your parents, it's very like, we're just gonna have a good time. Good time, just good vibes always. Like obviously my sister who lives with my parents sees the other side of it, which I'm sure we all do. When we live with our parents, it's just you see the bad parts and the good parts.
Yeah.
But because I'm so separated now, when I come back, it's mainly just the good parts. I mean, I still have to empty the dishwasher and help my mom with vacuuming and mopping, but it's just like it's just better. Like I think everybody should have experience of living away.
How important is it to like move out and do your own thing? I feel like that's such a stigma in like our culture and like.
Totally. I mean, I would let my kids do it because I just think, first of all, it helped me grow like astronomically. Now you're dealing with bills and that kind of situation, and you have to manage your finances way better. I think I mean, I can't speak for the dynamic every brown person has with their family, but for my family, like we were, kind of fighting, and it was just a little bit not difficult. Like I think everybody has their struggles with their family, but I think moving away helped because you get to see different perspectives and you see both, and I think now things are just way more healthier between all of us. When you're in each other's faces all day long, things just don't like you just bicker more, you fight more, and things just add up and they build on each other, and they just you end up fighting. Whereas I feel like when you have a step back and you don't live with them all the time, you look at things in a way more productive manner,
You
and
appreciate
you
each
appreciate the
other.
time that you have with each other. And honestly, like even to this day, I still feel guilty. Like I want to move back, and I want to be with my parents more. I think that's one thing that we don't talk about enough. The guilt of moving out.
Yeah, it's big.
It's huge. I feel guilty all the time, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, am I a shitty person for wanting to just be alone and then just coming back and having those little experiences, or should I
Yeah.
be there all the time? I think every like person deals with that, right? Like I feel like brown individuals, or brown, whether it be a boy or girls, feel like they want to stay home to,
Or they owe it.
they owe it. Maybe they owe it, or they want to be there for their parents all the
Yeah.
time. And does that make you a bad person if you move out? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And so I struggle with that a lot. Like I feel like, am I a shitty person because I moved out, or am I just kind of making sure I'm okay because I get home at 6 a.m. every day and I need to go to sleep and I can't drive from my job to Surrey every night. Like it's very difficult 4 nights a week. Like when 6 a.m. and you're tired as fuck, like falling asleep on the road and stuff like that. Moving downtown was a lot easier for me because I live right there. Like it's super accessible to my job and my career. I can be at the club every day. I can run there when I need to. And so it's like it's a back and forth. It's like a thing that I struggle with a lot.
You get micromanaged when you're home, I feel. Like
Absolutely,
every
too,
little
like
thing, where are you going, what are you doing? This
For
and
sure,
that,
and
the
that's just normal, right?
Yeah.
Like that's any parent. They're just worried about where you're.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're at.
How is the downtown life?
I like it. I mean, I always thought of myself as a very city boy. Like when I come back to my parents' house, I find it very quiet.
Yeah.
Like obviously they live in the suburbs, and so I like to go back 'cause I like the hustle and bustle of downtown. Would I live there for all my life? Absolutely not, 'cause I
Yeah.
do like the peace and quiet, and in leading a very soft life, I feel like you need that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't see myself living in downtown forever. Maybe the next 3 years or so. But after that, I would probably move to like North Van or something, where it's kind of like the happy medium. I like living in a condo. That's cool.
Do you rent or you buy one?
This guy. I bought one.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna ask you what the rent price is. That's all.
Rent is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
But
it
even
property
mortgages are
manager?
crazy too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's the whole housing crisis in Vancouver is just crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like all of it. Like I feel so bad for I feel bad for everybody actually, because everybody has to pay. My one friend had a variable mortgage, and when mortgage rates went up, her bill went from like 3,500 to almost 6,000.
Holy
Yeah, I
shit.
heard
You know,
that.
and if you're not prepared for that, how the fuck do you pay that? You know. Anyways, that's a side note.
Does that stress you out ever? Like,
100%.
being in a management role that you can get cut any day, and
Oh my god, it's like a stress every day of my life. Every day of my life, because, now we have real responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
You have real things to pay, you have real things to look after, you have a family that if you're in that position where you take care of them, you have to be able to take care of them. What do you do when you lose your job? And so that's always a fear of mine. And
the back of the head?
yeah, and now I'm really in the process of trying to do other things, so that if I ever did lose my job or want to transition out of my job, I won't be so like helpless.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about working in the clubs?
The people. I love the people, and that's the thing that keeps me going. I love getting to meet new people. I love getting to what really fulfills me, and the thing that I leave home when I leave to go home every night that like makes me feel good about what I did was getting to like curate someone's special night. Like I think that's just so. I mean, even though it's so small, like it's someone celebrating their birthday, and you're just making sure that they had a fun night. That their friends all got in, and they just had their best time. And they tell you they had the best time. Like that really makes me feel good, because I feel like nice. Like I did something. Like I helped out, and and they aren't gonna forget that now.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I want to apply to med school, because of that whole like idea of like getting to help someone in that way.
Med school.
Yeah.
A big difference. The big change, eh?
When I started my university career, I was doing like a biology degree for that goal. I took a time off to obviously do this career, because I thought that's where I really want to be. But recently I went back into school to finish up my degree and to hopefully apply.
We'll
see. God, you make plans and God laughs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's
So-
that balance been?
Difficult. I mean, I'm only doing like 1 or 2 classes a semester right now, so I can work because I am still very involved
Yeah.
in my job. But it's definitely different. I can't party as hard as I used to, but it's nice. It's a nice change. I feel like I've seen the other side of it, where I had 3 or 4 years straight like party and not really care about school, and so it's nice to now have experiences where I'm like, okay, you know what, I have to focus for my exam. Like today, I had an exam. This morning, I had an exam. It was terrible, but we're not terrible.
So yeah, you're going to school now, yeah?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
I'm just trying, man. Like, I'm just trying. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my parents. Like, I want to at least say it. I got my degree. I want to say it. I really am a firm believer that there's nothing in this life you can't do if you put your mind to it. And I think, what's stopping me from applying to med school? Nothing. Why can't I? It's just myself. So why can't I? If that's something I want to have, if that's the experience I want to have in my life when I die and say that I did, why fucking not? So that's what I'm doing. Or trying to do.
Yeah. Dan, you got any questions?
I know Dan had a lot before.
What's your exit strategy for the club?
I don't have one right now.
You don't have one?
It's just fine. If I find, something that fulfills me a little bit more and works out with me a little bit more, then maybe that's what it is.
Dan hasn't experienced like the downtown
The
nightlife.
downtown club. He doesn't even.
Really? I was listening about your whole, I was sitting at a club or
That
a
was a
lounge
bar.
He's
or
more of a
bar
bar
and I
guy.
saw like
That
all the
was
girls.
Jimmy Mac's pub.
And you were
right?
at
Jimmy
Pierre's.
Max, Jimmy
No,
Max.
it's
No,
definitely not a
he
Pierre's.
really
What's Jimmy
heard that
Max?
wrong. Exactly.
Dude, Jimmy
Is
Mac's
that like
is
roosters?
No, it's worse.
Like the warehouse?
It's down on
Actually, the warehouse is quite
Didn't you
96th
listen to it?
Avenue.
He said he asked. He's like, "What's D6?"
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He has no idea about like the nightlife, the bottles. Like, Dan, for you, that's like
Oh my god, Dan, I have to take you out.
No. No.
Why? Why are you scared? I don't bite.
I think you might.
I think you might like that.
Oh, God.
Exactly, bitch.
But yeah, Dan has an experience. Like we were telling him about like the table services and how like we drop like thousands of dollars on a night.
Yeah, idiots, but whatever.
And
That,
he-
that
yeah.
to me is just such a waste of money in my mind.
Oh, for sure. But we love it.
But I
But I love it when they do it.
Yeah. I also get like sensory overload where it's just so much stimulation, like the
I
lights and the
see.
music and everything and all the people's energy that I don't sleep after. I can't concentrate. I can't pay attention to what's going on. So I kind of like get in this weird spacey mood.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like it definitely is like when you're there, you're drinking, you enjoy it, and then sometimes you wake up and you're like, fuck, like, you know? And especially over time, I feel like that life gets very like tiring.
You carry people's energy for sure.
100% you do,
Like
right?
I remember I was like, there was a time in my life where I was like, I need to come home and like salt myself or something, like sage my body, because you really do pick up everyone's energy, and people come to the club for different fucking reasons,
Yeah.
and you can tell. You can fucking tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
I
What do
feel,
you
I
mean?
personally, I feel like I'm super sensitive to that because I went out on Friday night. It wasn't a club, but
Oh.
it was this big party, but it became, there's like 1,000 people there.
You went to Cactus Club. Relax.
We did after, actually.
You went to a club and then to Cactus?
No, this guy I know was hosting an event. It was
Okay.
at what, not Science World, the other one, the aquarium. He was
The
launching.
other one.
He was launching a what is it called? Like a mixed cocktail drink,
Okay.
and he had like 1,000 people there. There's a couple DJ stations.
Oh my god, they should have given him, my clubs after. Anyways.
I got
we'll talk
invited
later.
out to that.
Self-promote.
What's that?
Yeah.
They
um,
probably did.
What's that topless place in Vancouver? I got invited out like 3 times to that. like
Topless.
Boundaries or something like
Brandy?
that.
Brandy's.
No, not Brandy's. I think it was like South Van. I can't remember.
What?
Anyway,
Wait, where? What?
He's talking about
I think you're talking about Brandy's.
no, it wasn't Brandy's. There's
What is
another-
this topless place? And how do I not know about it?
It's like South Vancouver, I think.
Oh, gallery.
Gallery. That's it. Yeah.
There you go.
So I got invited out to like 3 or 4 times by a bunch of different people,
Cute.
and then, but yeah, like I got home late that night and I couldn't sleep because I just felt all of that energy was like channeled into me.
So you wanted to strip or something?
No, not at all. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't.
You're like, oh my god, I have all this stripper energy on me. I need to do something.
I didn't. No, we didn't
You
go to
start
the. We
jumping
didn't
on a
go to the
pole.
strip club. We didn't go to the strip club. That is another waste of money.
Well, you're really boring. Anyway.
You're bad for business, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan's very logical.
I hunt. I pack animals out on my back. All right. It's a
Yeah.
bit of a different life.
He's a hunter.
I love that.
Yeah.
We all are in our own ways, baby.
Dan.
Well, if Dan went to the club, he'd be hunting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Different style. Less violent.
What are some things you hate that people when they come in do?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I hate when people get aggressive with me. Not aggressive in a weird way, but when they grab me and they go like this. Like when they do the whole, what's up, bro? I'm good, how are you? Like, like, why so aggressive? Like, just give me a hug, man, or dab me up. Like, it doesn't have to be so aggressive. And I hate when people hurt me. Like, when I get hurt, I'm just like, I get triggered, and I want to hit them back. Like, I hate, like, if it gets too hard, like, someone hits my, if does this, like, what's up? And hits my back, I get, it's my biggest fucking, like, I could punch him in the face.
Yeah.
That's how much. My back is just so sensitive that I could fucking sack him. I hate it. I hate it.
Has that ever happened when someone did that and you just like fucking went off on them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If people hurt, like, if I feel like I got hurt, I'd fucking be like, fuck you, and then I'll walk away. Even if it's my friend.
Yeah, and he's getting out.
And then they'll know, no, I won't kick him out. I'll
Yeah.
just know that I'm mad at them and they can't talk to me for the rest of the night.
Those two things?
The second most annoying thing,
Yeah.
yo, Nolan, where's the fucking bitches? Get the fuck out of here. You're drinking well fucking tequila and you want to talk to some, like, do you want to talk to the girls? Yeah. You fucking loser.
So how do you get girls?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Be confident. Okay, actually, you know what? I've explained this to a lot of my guy friends. I think the trick to getting girls in like nightclubs or whatever, don't be a fucking creep. Don't fucking come in there expect bitches just gonna come talk to you, or sorry, mind my language. These girls gonna come talk to you, because they're not going to. They don't want to.
So don't just stare at them.
Don't just stare at them. Don't try to buy them a drink. Don't try to be like, oh, Nolan, can you wingman me? Like, let me meet your friends or whatever.
That, eh?
Huh?
You've had that, guys coming up
all
to
the
you?
time. Like, and it's so obvious. Like, don't talk to me because I know that you just want to like have me introduce you to people.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe if you're spending like 10 grand on a table, then yeah, absolutely, you want to have some people around you and have a good time and like have like, girls. It's just that's what it is. Okay, but if you're just being a fucking weirdo at the bar and being overly drunk and being like, "Where do I talk to some bitches?" Where it's just like, like she's kind of scared to talk to you and I'm kind of scared to talk to you. Why the fuck would I want to even introduce you to anybody? Because first of all, you scare me, and I don't want to introduce you to anybody because you're just too fucking crazy, and I wouldn't even want to put my friend in that situation. Yeah. Be a friend.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen? Because you probably see some weird shit.
In like what sense?
Guys going up to girls or like trying to
like anything.
Like everything, man. Like just like like them doing a little dance or something. They're trying to find like they're fucking animals doing a mating call. Like it's just like hi, hello. You're not a peacock.
Animals doing a mating call. That's
like
hilarious.
It's just so like
that I'm familiar with. I've seen that firsthand.
Thank you, Dan. Come and join the table, please.
Also, we give down the mic.
Yeah, no, like it's just I think. If you really are, if that's your intention where you want to go out and meet somebody, be fucking chill, man. Like, just be cool. Don't try hard. Don't try to be too aggressive. Don't be too forward. It's just fucking weird. Like, that's right away red flags. Like, you look at this person, and you're like, oh, this guy's just in it to fucking win it, Yeah. And if you really want to get to know somebody, you really want to meet a girl, you want to be cool with someone, you want to just be a homie. Be a fucking homie, be a friend, and then if the chemistry's there, it'll fucking happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah. So
there's too many fucking weirdos that come out for that intention. And it's just
that's
weird.
like a lot of people. Though.
And I can't stand that.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Like the whole like, oh, I just want to get laid tonight situation. Like, man, be cool. Yeah. If you're cool, maybe you will.
Drop $10,000 and
not even the money thing. Not even the money thing. Not even the money thing. You could be fucking cool at the bar. Yeah. And honestly, if I were to go to a club like outside of here, I'm not buying a $10,000 table. Obviously, I can't afford that. But like, I'm not wanting to be at the fucking most the most crazy table. I could be cool at the bar. Yeah. But I just know I'm not gonna approach people in a weird way where it's gonna turn them off. And I think that's a problem a lot with people who can't.
Do you go to other bars and clubs or anything like that?
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can I say like, I have to say like, my favorite thing now is not even going to Yaletown or Granville Street or even Cole Harbor. My favorite thing now is going to like Main Street and Commercial. And I never thought I was that guy, because I always loved the glitz and the glamour and like this like the all of Yaletown kind of vibe. Like I love that from up until now, but I love getting to go into different places that are like cool and niche and like not knowing anyone that's there, and just like getting to experience a normal bar as a normal person, and just like getting to have a genuine connection with like a friend that I went with.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, I know this owner that's here, and like, oh, they come over and buy you a shot, and that whole thing. I feel like at that point I have to be on. Whereas when I go to bars, in like other parts of Vancouver, I don't necessarily have that, because I don't know anybody there, and I can just order a drink and just be normal,
be chilled out,
be chill, and like not have to be on, not worry about whether or not I have to like, put my personality on and be
put
like,
on
hey,
the
what's
show,
up, and like,
yeah.
I can be my girlfriend, can just go and just have a drink and eat some food and just be normal.
But that's a big thing out here, that flex, knowing people, getting into clubs.
Totally. And I think when you see the other side of it, you're over it.
You're numb to it.
You're numb to it. Like if I'm like when I see crazy bottle service parades in Miami and New York, I know what goes into that, so I'm just not like,
yeah,
Anything
not
else
like, oh my god,
that is a
red flag,
trigger or whatever?
a trigger, like
when
what people do at the club. When people wear runners. When people wear runners.
Fuck, you see everything,
When people wear runners, side bags.
Oh,
I hate side bags. I hate side bags. Oh my god, I can't even.
You don't like that
I'll take your fucking side bag.
I'll
throw
give
it
it
outside.
to you. I don't wear it
I'll
anymore.
throw it outside. I don't give a fuck. I'll throw it. Oh my god, I can't even deal with it. And then people wear Lululemons. Those are the top 3. Lululemon.
Oh, like the pants?
like
yeah.
just aren't wearing jeans or like a proper
not dressed up.
top. Just not even. You don't have to be dressed up.
Is there like a dress code? There's a dress code, right?
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely, like it's.
But I feel like people get by now. I see people rocking sweats.
Yeah, and that's
stuff.
the fucking point, because somehow Vancouver, like, that's a normal.
It's not
now.
the same anymore. Back in the day, I remember they'd be like, "Yo, you're not wearing jeans, you can't come in." Now,
Exactly, but that's Vancouver culture, like everybody here is very athleisure vibes. Like a lot of our regulars that come and spend $2,000 or $3,000 or even more than that will be in sweatpants, and so we kind of have to let it slide because that's just them. But it also opens the door of other people seeing that that's okay, and I love it when people are dressed up. Like I love being in that environment. I put in the effort to dress up, so it's like I want to be around people who also do that.
Yeah.
But the whole side bags, runners, like dresses and runners.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a guy and I have no opinion on what girls should wear at a club. Really? Like runners?
Yeah, what do girls wear that you don't like?
The runners.
Runners?
The runners.
Yeah.
Dresses and runners. But even when I was 19...
Girls are usually more dressed up, though, I've noticed.
Dresses.
Like, easier.
Totally. But the runners. But I'm a guy, so I'm a gay guy, so I noticed the runners.
Yeah.
And so that just drives me crazy. But I was also in a friend group that, like, never did that. So every time we did see it, it was kind of like, whoa, like...
It's definitely changed, yeah. Do you guys ever kick girls out for that?
No, like, no. It's not that kind of... It's just a personal thing.
They never kick girls out.
If I was a girl, I would always wear heels and a dress.
What was I gonna say? Fuck, I had a good question. So is like you were saying, like if people, the $2,000-3,000, the guys that are coming in regularly, they're allowed to wear whatever. But then if there's like
Not
people
always allowed though, like sometimes if it's like really bad, we're like,
yeah. And if you're not dropping that money, you're not.
It's not about the money thing though.
Yeah.
It's never a money thing. I never want to make it a money thing because I don't like. Oh, to add to that list, I don't like when people come up to me and say, "Oh, but I'll spend this much and blah blah blah." So you should let me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If your vibe's not good, if I don't want you in the place, then I don't care about money you spend. If you're a fucking shithead, have fun. Go to another place. I don't want you.
Damn.
That's what it is, man. Like I'm all about the vibes. I'm about if you're respectful, and I'm about like the bigger picture. And the bigger picture isn't taking someone's $3,000 table and having them cause trouble. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're always looking out for trouble.
I'm always looking out for trouble because I don't like trouble because that means I have to fucking deal with the trouble.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the guy that deals with the trouble.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like sausage fest guys.
What's the process for hiring the bottle service girls?
Have you seen them on my TikTok?
No.
Have you seen them?
I haven't seen.
You haven't seen my TikTok?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's why you asked.
No.
I made a TikTok about how I hire bottle girls,
Yeah, I gotta
and
hear
it
this.
kind of went viral.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh fuck. I forgot what I said in the.
Dan, is it 8 o'clock? Fuck.
Oh,
I'll go
shit.
in like 10 minutes.
Okay, quick. You can't be a cunt, so you can't be a dick to like your people.
Yeah.
Sorry, like you just can't be like rude. You're outgoing. You appreciate like looking good, obviously. Like
Well,
I'm
so looks
frank-
matter.
obviously, like hello,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna go to a table and want to spend $3,000 if your server looks like you found her on the street or something,
Yeah.
or found him, me. You know, if you found us on the street, like you're not gonna want to do that. And also, there's an art to art, like selling in a club. Like, there's a reason why every club in the world has bottle service girls that look great. It's because people who come to the club want to impress them, want to like get to know them. Blah, blah, blah. It's like it's just the whole thing of good, you make more money when you're like better looking. I guess I don't know if that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
get to, but it just works.
Yeah.
So that definitely we take.
what sells.
out. It sells. Sex sells. That's what it is. Sex sells. What else did I say? What else did I say in that video? Can't be a cunt. You have to be really nice. I don't like mean girls. I don't like people who come in with like a certain attitude. Like, you're just so good. Like, great, you're so fucking 10 out of 10 hot. I'd rather take the 7 out of 10 who has a good personality. You just can't. Like, what's the point? You're just going to stare at a painting?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What else? Oh, someone who's not stupid.
What do you mean
Like,
by
you
that?
just can't be an idiot. Like, we have so many rules in
Yeah.
British Columbia for our bottle service rules. Like, you have to know how to you have to know how to take a bill. You have to know how to follow the rules. You have to know about like how to serve the bottle. Like, obviously you get training, but if you're just too stupid to not remember your training, then you just can't work there.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So
Like,
there's girls that get shafted then. Like some girls that probably sell more than certain girls that you guys throw up on the front for certain tables.
totally. Like, if you are booking tables and you're inviting your friends out, absolutely you get whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Because we're all trying to we're all trying to make these clubs as busy as we can,
Yeah.
So if you have that personality, or if you have the fucking looks that brings people back here every fucking weekend and spend some money,
You're hired.
what do you want?
Yeah. See, I feel like you can say that, but if it was like another male guy
Why?
trying to say that, it'd come off very wrong.
How? I just said that if you are
No, because
actively
like
trying
I
to
feel
invite
like
tables,
if another
agree.
guy told a girl, hey, like you're, like a masculine guy was like to a girl, oh, I can't keep you here because you're like this, you don't look good enough, blah blah blah.
no, I would never say that.
Yeah.
It's not about oh, you don't look good enough.
Yeah.
It's about whether or not you are like working for the betterment of the company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they don't look good enough, they're just not even gonna get hired. That's not a thing. I'm not worried
Do
about
you ever feel
later
bad
on.
when you have to like send them like hey, sorry.
that email, like
Yeah.
I don't.
We're not moving forward with your application.
we're not moving forward. You don't meet the requirements.
Candidly, I don't feel bad. I mean, I do.
I
I mean,
guess you know what you're coming into.
candidly,
Mhm.
I don't even reply.
Yeah.
But in today's day, you got to be accepting of everyone, right? So you got to be very careful with that too, right?
Yeah. But also, it's like, are you a right fit for the company?
Yeah. I guess you kind of know what you're signing up for.
Exactly. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Sorry.
It's like Cactus Club.
No. They don't take anybody now.
Really?
Yeah.
After 4
You know
years.
what's funny
true.
now
It's
is-
so disappointing.
Come on, Dan. You don't go to
where he's
Cactus that
going.
much, man.
Do you guys remember when Cactus had that, like, whole, like,
Yeah.
oh, if you go to Cactus Club, like, all
Yeah.
the servers are so hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss those times. I really do miss that, like, culture.
What changed?
Because I
That was like
feel like
pre-COVID.
I
Yeah.
made myself better. Like, I feel like I don't think I'm a better person. I just feel like I like myself more now because of, I put the emphasis on, like, losing weight, and like I feel like I put more work into myself, and I feel more confident, and I like myself more. I don't know. That's kind of fucked up, but yeah.
But
anyways.
what changed? Like, why is that such a
Just to
change
accept
now?
it.
Is that what it is? So you're not
We
fully
stop bullying each other.
you're not fully like with that whole accept everyone thing.
Whoa. I mean, that's
you just said it. You just said
no.
Yeah.
No. I accept everybody.
Yeah.
But I do really appreciate when people are like, when people put the work into like bettering themselves.
100%.
I don't think necessarily just because you accept everybody doesn't mean you have to be complacent
Yeah.
or just be.
I agree.
Like like just be bare minimum. Like I think we all go to the gym for a reason, and I appreciate.
He keeps talking about the gym and like.
I lost 67 pounds, motherfuckers.
wow.
If I can fucking say I put in work,
Yeah.
I put in work to make myself look better.
Let's
So
talk
yeah.
about that. How was that journey?
Oh my god, I was so fucking fat. I've always dealt with just being bigger, and I mean, I'm not obviously skinny right now, but I've always wanted to be like smaller, and it was fantastic. I went on Ozempic actually
Oh, Ozempic. Yeah,
for a little bit, for
lot
like a
of people have
month,
been
for a
taking-
month, and it fucked me over. And
Yeah.
anyways, it just,
Oh, it did.
it's
I
a
heard
whole
people
thing.
got like a lot of issues with it.
Not the ones that are in the news that I had to deal with. Long story short, I was on Ozempic. I went on a trip to Mexico. I caught something in Mexico that worsened because of the Ozempic, because it stayed in my body longer, and essentially it was just like a
Like food wise.
crazy- Yeah.
Oh, like okay.
Yeah, like a stomach bug, and it just got worse because of the Ozempic.
That's
And so I
crazy.
lost even more weight,
Ozempic
which I
was
loved.
It's been a big thing though. Ozempic. Everybody's taking it.
Yeah,
From what I've
yeah,
heard. Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of people.
Yeah. What does it do? It just suppresses your appetite.
No, it delays your gastric emptying, so you stay fuller longer, which means that you don't eat as much, which means that you lose weight.
Wow.
Obviously, I can't talk about the actual mechanism of what happens in your
Yeah,
body,
yeah,
but
no.
you know, in layman's terms, that's what it is, or layman's terms,
Yeah.
what the fuck it is.
What's some advice you'd give to someone that wants to? Would you let your? Is this an industry you would want your kids to go into?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like just for the experience of like getting to meet people and, like developing. Like if my kids were super shy, absolutely, yeah.
So to come
like
out of
I
your
would
shell,
want-
kinda.
Yeah, definitely. And you meet really great connections.
Yeah.
Even like my friend just moved to Toronto, and I was telling her go apply at the job, like go apply at the club.
Yeah.
Like just do it, just to like get to meet people. Obviously, I would tell my kids what's up and what's not up.
Yeah. The good and bad.
They're good and bad, and you know, take it from there. But if my kids are getting into it, I already know what's going on, so they can't fucking hide shit from me.
Yeah.
You know,
What's an advice you'd give someone that wants to be in that world? That wants to.
that wants to pursue
Yeah.
nightlife as a career.
Yeah. Go into managing promotions and.
I
The
would
money's
tell
big
them.
for sure.
I would tell them, money is good. Money's good. Depends where you work, absolutely, but money is good. I would tell them to really enjoy it. To really enjoy it. To not. I also would tell them, though, don't close other doors. Because nightlife is a great job to have on the side of something else. You know what I mean? You never want to make it your be all end all. You just don't. Because, you know, later in life, you might think that it's not really meant for you. You know, that's what it is. Sometimes that happens. But if you're going to do it with your heart. Like, do it with your heart, man. If you don't like it, don't fucking do it. Don't waste your time. If you love it, you love the people, fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Anything you want to get off your chest?
I think I took a lot of things off my chest today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys learned a
I
lot.
mean,
about
for
me today.
like the short amount of time it was.
Mm,
How long did we get, Dan? Whoa,
Oh,
it's not bad.
I don't know what is.
Anything you want to ask us?
What's your favorite part of going out?
You know what it is? It's that feeling when you're like, just
yeah,
you're like, okay, we're going out tonight, going there,
with the boys.
the boys, and then like getting the table and like just.
And so when you spend this amount of money on a table,
yeah.
how do you feel after?
Oh, when you send the e-transfer, you feel a little like, oh.
If you, it's always shitty.
You don't even drink, and they make you send it. You
No. Well,
Oh.
that's
When he
only,
used
I
to,
mean,
yeah.
before I used to
Oh, I
like
see.
this
How long have you
guy-
been sober?
3 months.
Why did you choose to be sober?
Oh, I just was going partying
Getting out of
too
hand.
much,
Oh, I
like
see.
doing all that stuff, and then I was supposed to only take like a couple week break. But then you know when you get on a streak,
Absolutely.
and then I was like,
I mean,
okay.
my longest streak was ever like 3 days, but
Our longest streak was what, like 10 months.
10 months.
We did 10 months together.
I see.
But yeah, so
Wow,
yeah,
good for you. You could have had a baby.
we could have.
That's
But yeah, so
I mean,
I think
like-
that's the best part. Going out, having the, you know,
The
I miss
boys.
that feeling.
boys,
I really
you know,
miss
you're
that feeling.
there.
It's like the whole excitement of just like getting together and like going out and like the feeling. But then like after like the night goes on, half the guys split up. One guy's here, one guy's there. But like obviously in the morning you wake up, you're like, fuck. As I get older, you're like,
as you get older, it's not as
totally.
But
but
you know,
I really
it's still when you're there, you still have like in the moment, it's like a good time. So even in the morning, you're like, oh, you know what, we still had a good night with the boys. Like,
but I feel like it's become more of a thing like through social media. Everybody chases that nightlife because it gives you that like that feeling of you're living that like that lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know,
like everybody the bottle comes, everybody's on their phone, like snapping.
For sure, for sure.
And it's that culture
thing. You know what? It's kind of sad how much nightlife has shifted to that. You know, speaking about like referring to a TikTok I saw maybe like a week ago, this girl was saying that like back in the day, you went to the club because you wanted to dance, you were grinding up on everybody, and you're just having like a fucking time. Nowadays, nobody wants to let loose in that sense because everyone's phone's out.
Everybody's recording.
Everyone's recording, and nobody has fun like that. When
everyone's very tense out here too.
Tense. It's so tense.
Yeah, it's
everybody's like looking around.
Everyone's so fucking like, what's up your ass? Like, why are you so on edge?
Everyone's on edge.
And that's what I try to prevent. You know what I mean?
But you can't because you know there's so many people that know people here. Like I feel like for us going to a different city or a country and partying there is much more funner.
Way more fun.
Because you don't care about who's around. You know you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Here you're kind of like looking around. Oh, who's here? Who's watching?
I don't know. For me, I almost feel like I like partying more here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird like that though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
I like being in the limelight.
Partying. No, not in that sense. I love like I feel like because I feel very comfortable here, so I feel like I can black out and just be fucking dead on the street.
That makes sense.
Here, not in like Miami or something. Because oh my god,
you like know so many people, and then like you're so out there. Does that ever like? Do you ever feel like do you like that you're out there like that, or do you ever feel
with the cameras and stuff and like you're
cameras and stuff like that.
like you were just saying like everybody's
got a paparazzi,
but not even like cameras, but like not
everybody
even
goes viral. There's so many videos of people that go downtown tap house, they go viral after or something,
or not even that, like just how you kind of like you know people. A lot of people don't like you came in here today, you knew the guy that walked in. You know what I mean? Like having that, like, do you ever want like more of like a private life? Do you ever like think like that?
No, because I don't think it's to the degree where like
a celebrity.
Like I'm not walking outside
paparazzi
and like, oh my god, I need to leave. I need to lead a normal life. Like no, it's not like that. But I really enjoy it. Like I like when I can run into like people that I know in a random building in Langley. I get to see them, and I think it's a cool experience. But you know, if I'm like really scrubbed out and like not wanting to see anybody, and I see somebody, then yeah, for sure. But I mean, that's anybody could think that, you know, like everybody knows people.
But it's really changed though.
What do you mean?
The nightlife out here.
For sure. Exactly. Back to our original point. If everything's just way more like serious and for the gram and just like it's just
nobody knows how to enjoy the moment.
Loose.
Yeah.
Nobody can let loose.
And that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
That's what my goal is. Like when I can go to the club that I'm working at and make the people have a good time and not really care and not be so tense, because tense people lead to fights all the time.
Yeah.
I try to relax people so that they can have that good time, and that's like what I live off of. Because it gives me a good time.
What's the craziest fight that you've seen?
Oh, I can't.
There's probably so many.
Talk about that.
I'm
just kidding. I wasn't there, but there was one night where just in one of the venues that I had worked at, it was like all the tables were flipped over kind of fight. Like it was like this group versus this group versus this group because they just thought they were involved, and it was just like the entire area. But that was pre-COVID, back in like the real hardcore days when it was just like everybody wanted to spend money, everybody was out every weekend. And it was like it was a way different environment than it was now. Like it's very rare now post-COVID where we have, also because we're stricter now, where we have those kind of fights.
But it's probably stricter because of those reasons.
Exactly. Now it's just, we had a wake-up call after COVID too. Like we were just like, why are we entertaining stupid groups?
Yeah.
Why like when you, okay, fine, you build 10 grand but you chase away 30. That's also a mantra, right? When you entertain stupid groups.
True.
Sure, they'll spend 10 grand, but you chase away 30 grand worth of business.
True.
That's what it is.
100%.
Anything else? First question.
What are your guys' experience with DL, guys?
DL?
Huh?
What?
Dan, you in the
I'm
DMs
just
or
kidding.
what?
I'm just kidding.
Dan, are you user 210?
2
Wait,
and
do
3
you guys
0
have that
actually.
ever in like the girl world?
Like what?
Messaging us?
Like, yeah.
Oh.
No.
Well, that's pretty boring, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Manager?
No.
Oh, that's your girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh,
He's got a girlfriend too.
I do not have a girlfriend.
We all got girlfriends.
I love that.
Except for Dan.
Not yet. He's still hunting.
Me and
I
Dan
love
are.
that. What's your favorite part of going out? Oh, I guess you
Yeah.
answered that. Like the whole.
Just a vibe. But
Yeah.
like it's not like we go out like crazy.
Yeah, we don't really go out.
Yeah.
Right.
See us here or there. But then that's nice too. That like when we go out, then it's like a better time because we're not
You
out
gotta be
there
with
every
the-
weekend. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And with the right people.
Totally.
And then you know what
Has
I
to be
mean?
good vibes.
Because you don't want to go with like where like it's tense. I guess.
Yeah, because you're always like, yeah. Because shit can elevate very quickly over here.
Yeah, and that's what I fucking hate.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate that. Like, people come in expecting like something's about to go down. So everybody has that chip on their shoulder and like they're always like it's just it drives me crazy. It's like why even go out when you have that like attitude that like, oh, something's about to go down. Like
Okay, so
if people met people with kindness, I think shit wouldn't be so fucking crazy.
in your ideal world, how would a night be for you?
An ideal world, how would a night be like for me? I do a nice dinner. I get ready. I go to a nice dinner. Go with my friends. And then I go to work. And then all the tables would come in right on time by 11:30 because that's when we hold your table too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sold out night. I have 2,000 people on my guest list, which I love. The room is like fucking 70% chicks. Everybody's ordering champagne. Oh my god, best nights when people order champagne. It's great. And I say 70% chicks because when a room is more full of guys, you just get that fucking tension. When there's room full of like majority girls, oh my god, it's like harmony. It's like nobody's fucking worried about nothing. It's smooth. It's, I have my people that come in and want to see me, my tables. They want to drink with me. I drink with them. I have a bunch of like cute guys that come in that are like, oh, Nolan, what's up? And like, I love being able to flirt with anybody. So I just, when I have those people that I can like banter with, not in a sexual way necessarily, because I'm not trying to get with these people, but it's just nice to be able to like flirt and just be like, oh, like, like have a little shot, like, oh, like you want this shot so bad, like take the shot, like, like that kind of shit, because it's just fun, it's light, it's airy, it's just a little bit like, ooh, and it just that's my perfect
little
night.
pat on the shoulder.
Little pat on the shoulder, pat on your bum, like it's great. I love that. Like I love that.
Yeah.
And then, the night just goes great. The music's great. The DJs are killing it. Our sales are great because everyone's just popping off, buying champagne. And
Yeah.
no fights. No fights.
Good night.
Great night.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they are really good nights. Like, I haven't had a fight in a while. Knock on wood.
So how do you change that culture though? Like you're saying it's going
We just stop them at the door. If you
Yeah.
come in with the type of attitude,
Yeah.
we can see it. We can smell it. I can
Yeah.
smell it.
yeah.
I can fucking smell who's going to be a fucking issue.
Yeah.
At this point, yes.
That's something you gotta know, right? As a manager, like you gotta
Absolutely,
be on top of that
man. But it's also it has to start with the very beginning. Like if you're coming up and you're just met with aggression, the people are gonna be met with aggression. That's why if you ever see me come out from the club, I'm always like, "Hi guys,"
Yeah.
like, "What's going on?" And then that just like lights up your mood. Like you're just like, "Oh my god, this guy is so weird.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go into the club with him."
Doing the
you know?
back down.
Yeah,
The
like
KP
you gotta
bhangra.
do exactly. You gotta do the fucking most.
Yeah.
Because it just makes the vibe better, and that's
Yeah.
all I feel like I'm good at that, so that's what I feel like I offered when I'm working.
Yeah.
Are there like any tips to like how we said like the bad things that people do? Like, are there any good things? I mean, other than people spending money.
Dress properly.
Dress properly, absolutely. When people are friendly and like want to talk to everybody, like that's great too. When people understand, like if we're at capacity and they understand what's going on,
Mhm.
not that just we're just not wanting them to come outside or not coming inside. Sorry, then that's great. People are respectful. Like if you're in the wrong lineup and you know like we can't physically check in your guest list to the table lineup, going to the proper lineup and just respecting that. Amazing. Yeah. Like thank you so much for understanding that we're just trying to keep order.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. We're legally enforced to keep that order. So if we tell you to go to different lineups, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so that we can make inside as smooth as we can.
Yeah. And bottle service girls, they make money off commission?
They make money off their tips. So if you tip your bottle girl, that's how they make their money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they get to keep the full tip. It's not like shared throughout the.
It's all pooled. Depends what club you work at, obviously, but for the most part, it's all pooled. Yeah. Yeah. So be nice to your bottle girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a lot. Be nice to be nice to the fucking bussers. I can't tell you, no club could run without their bussers or barbacks. Mm-hmm. Those are the people you want to fucking like just say, hey, thank you to.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that you don't notice, but they are behind the scenes. They are preparing everything. They are just like God's like little helpers. I love them. I will do anything for my bussers.
Yeah. Shout out to the bussers.
Yeah. So, do you have any advice for, just or anything you want to leave off on? And then plug your Instagram and stuff like that, TikToks.
Leave off on.
Mm-hmm.
For anything.
Give a message.
For anything.
A message.
Message for society.
Think about that. Message for society.
Before Dan kills us.
My message to society is have fun. I don't know if it's a wine talking. Probably the wine talking, but it's nothing is that deep. Like that's what I want to land off at. Nothing is that deep where it has to escalate to any type of situations. Like if you just keep it chill, keep it cool, like just be fucking a cool person. Like things will work out, and just believe in the process and do what you got to do. And I promise you, things will work out. That's what I lead on. Never say no.
100%.
Wow, so many different messages.
Yeah, we want to thank you.
Thank you
Nolan,
for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Apologize for cutting it short.
No, not at all. Oh my God, I was late. It's my fault.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming on.
What are the beans and beers?
And we're out.
Peace out.
Fuck, we rushed that in.